with the music of Buddy DeFranco and the voice of Helen Forrest, the Navy Swing. This is George Fetterman for your United States Navy, presenting the world's outstanding exponents of jazz. From New Orleans to Chicago, from Dixieland to progressive, from the pulsing heart to the tapping toe, it's the 2-beat and 4-beat of true American jazz. On deck are the great names of jazz: Andre Previn, Red Nichols, Dave Brubeck, Bob Crosby, George Shearing, and featuring this week, Helen Forrest and Buddy DeFranco. 16 years with top bands. Men like Gene Krupa, Tommy Dorsey, Charlie Barnett, Boyd Rayburn, Count Basie. And now heading his own combo. That's our in-person star, Buddy DeFranco.
You make it sound like a current event, George. Our little congregation here is almost 10 years old.
Yes, and lots happened in that decade. Countless high school and college appearances, Hollywood Bowl, Carnegie Hall, concert tours of Australia and Europe.
George, you're making with that old feeling.
Which you're about to play. That old feeling. That tune must have been popular about the time you headed your own teenage band on radio, huh?
That was quite a band. I was kind of the Mickey Rooney of my neighborhood. Always organizing the kids, breaking into the big time.
Yeah, I remember those pictures. The storylines always had every kid interested in nothing but show business.
All the world was a stage, and Rooney could never find a theater.
So he put the show on in a barn, or even talked the police department into blocking off a public street. Well, you know, I think that if they were making that kind of picture today, Rooney would have all the kids building jet planes, guided missiles, rockets, and he'd be begging the school principal to turn the football field into a landing strip.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, George, when there's a much easier route into aviation.
Well, you just have to be talking about NAVCAD. Well, you're right, Buddy. Those young men with just a little patience and 2 years of college could become naval aviation cadets. Yes, the Navy's great training program called NAVCAD was designed for unmarried men with their hearts in the sky. NAVCAD provides the finest training known. If you're interested in becoming a naval aviation officer, ask your Navy recruiter about NAVCAD. Helen Forrest, I think it's about time we heard from you.
I'm ready, and the song is called Them There Eyes. I fell in love with you first time I looked into them there eyes. You got a certain little cute way of flirting with them there eyes. They make me feel happy, yes, they make me feel so blue. No sure started something with them there eyes. Well, you better watch them if you're wise. They sparkle, they bubble, gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're overworking, there's danger lurking in them there eyes. You better watch them if you're wise with brown eyes. Yes, they sparkle, bubble, gonna get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're overworking them, there's danger lurking in, yes, lurking in them eyes.
Wonderful, Helen, just wonderful.
Thanks, George. You know, I was enjoying your reminiscing about those old Mickey Rooney movies, but you forgot about the girls.
Judy Garland, Lana Turner, Ann Rutherford.
Well, they were on one side, but don't you remember there was always the second girl, the other woman, who would be vamping Mickey much to Judy's dismay.
Oh, yes, those 15-year-old sirens. Helen, has popular music changed as much as the movies have in the last 10 or 20 years?
Oh, I don't think so. Outside of the fads, of course, which we've always had. I don't think there's any noticeable change.
I'll go along with that. Rock and roll, rhythm and blues, calypso. As Helen said, these fads are always around. But the basic popular music is the same.
Well, for proof, look how many of the songs you hear every day were written 10, 20, 30, even 40 years ago.
They're just as fresh and danceable as ever. Helen, why don't you pull one out and show George what we're talking about?
Okay, here's Taking a Chance on Love. Here I go again, I hear those trumpets blow again, on the glow again, taking a chance on love. Here I slide again, about to take that ride again, starry-eyed again. Well, I've taken a chance on love. I thought the cards were a frame-up, I never would try. Now I've taken the game up and the ace of hearts is high. Things are mending now, I see a rainbow blending now. We'll have a happy ending now, taking a chance on love. On the flow again, taking a chance on love. Well, I'm starry-eyed again, 'cause I'm taking a chance on love. I thought that cards were a frame-up, I never would try. Now I've taken the game up and the ace of hearts is high. Things are mending now, I see a rainbow blending now. We'll have a happy ending now, 'cause I've taken a chance on love.
Helen Forrest, Taking a Chance on Love. Sounds like a good gamble with you singing it, Helen. There once was a fellow named Joe. Joe was about 20, still single, and had just finished his second year of college. For reasons of his own, Joe decided not to complete college. More than anything, he wanted to be at the controls of a modern jet plane. Well, Joe asked around. He listened. He read. And he learned that there are several paths leading to aviation. But after great consideration, Joe chose NAVCAD. Yes, he found that naval aviation had the most to offer. NAVCAD, Naval Aviation Cadet, Joe's title. It could be yours. See your naval recruiter.
Nice little yarn.
And true, 1,000 times over. Oh, buddy, before you play Black Magic, we've had a lot of mail asking about the men in your group.
I know.
You know?
Who do you think wrote it? Jimmy Rolls on piano. He licked the envelopes. Frank DeVito on drums. He corrected the spelling. Bob Bertot on bass. He put on the stamps. Vic Feldman on the vibraharp. He mailed the stuff. And Howard Roberts on guitar. He organized the whole thing to make sure they got introduced. Put them all together, lock up the desk, and they sound like this.
Boy, that sure brings back a lot of memories.
Well, to both of us.
Not to be left out, it brings back a few memories for me, too.
Shall we all reminisce?
Well, let's. But it'll have to wait until Buddy plays the theme and I bid everyone farewell. Buddy? The Navy Swings with Buddy DeFranco and Helen Forrest. This is George Fenneman inviting you to swing to the Navy in the weeks ahead. Thanks to the station you're now listening to, we're able to present such favorites as Red Nichols, Bob Crosby, Paige Cavanaugh, Dave Pell, Charlie Barnett. Vocally, watch for Peggy King, Jerry Southern, Sue Rainey, Lucy Ann Polk, and Jane Russell. They're all coming your way on the Navy Swings. And now remember, there's an important job waiting for you when you join the Navy.